Okay, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday and welcome to Friday Flow. My name is Ellen. We're going to start in a seated position. So any seated position that's comfortable for you. I'm sitting on top of my yoga block. Feel free to grab blocks or pillows or any props that you have as well. And I wanted to mention that September is National Yoga Month. So we are celebrating yoga, offering specialty classes throughout the week. So make sure that you check the schedule for some of those extra classes that we have. We have a Monday, 10 a.m. We have a Wednesday morning, 7:15, Thursday afternoon. So some extra classes, make sure to check those out along with this one. So we'll start with some shoulder shrugs. You're gonna bring those shoulders up to your ears. Nice big deep breath, inhale. And then exhale, just let it go and let them fall back down. A couple more times. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up. Exhale, relax. Big deep breath in and out. Let's do two more. So nice deep breath, shoulders all the way up, and then an audible exhale. Just let it go. One more time. Up and relax. All right, take this into shoulder rolls. So up, down, and around. Starting to warm up the body just a bit here. And two more nice shoulder rolls. Going up, down, and back. And now we're gonna bring our arms up as we inhale and then exhale down to the side. So a couple of these. And as we're doing this and as we're getting started this morning, feel free to check in, do a quick body scan, and just notice how you're feeling this morning. And then be mindful of that. If you have any recent injuries, just make sure to take this class, this workout at your own pace. Okay, so we're gonna do one more like this. Inhale and exhale. And now we're gonna switch it up a little bit. So you're gonna take those arms back up. This time you're gonna add a little bit of a twist to that right side. And slowly lower those hands and arms down, starting to look over that right shoulder. And then inhale, bring those arms back up. And then exhale over to that left side. So just a gentle twist. We'll get a little bit deeper into it in just a moment, but just going from right to left, inhale and exhale. Sitting up nice and tall in your seated position. We'll do one more like this on each side, and then we'll hold that pose, get a little bit deeper into the stretch. So inhale up. We'll go over that right shoulder. You're gonna hold this one this time. Take a couple of breaths. Your hand is right behind you. And that front hand, you can feel free to reach it around that opposite knee. If you wanna add a little bit more of a twist. And on your next inhale, you're gonna lift up a little bit higher in your seated position. Imagine you have that piece of string attached to your head pulling you up. And then exhale, look over that right shoulder. Hold it for one more breath here, sitting up nice and tall, keeping that chest lifted, and then slowly come back to the center, arms come back up. Inhale, let's do the same thing over that left shoulder. So a couple breaths here before we really add that rotation and twist. So next inhale, I want you to lengthen the spine, lift up an inch taller, and then exhale, look over that left shoulder. Maybe a gentle push against that knee to find a little more space. One more breath here. And then slowly back to the center, arms come up, inhale, and then exhale. Let's go ahead and just do a nice, easy forward fold. You're just gonna walk those hands out nice and slow, reaching for the floor, maybe reaching for a block. Just gonna tuck that chin in, And just go until you feel a gentle pull, stretch in your back, and hold this for a couple of breaths. Just a nice, easy forward fold. So we're gonna take 2 more breaths right here, and then we'll do sort of the opposite stretch for our chest and our shoulders. 1 more breath. And then inhale, you're gonna walk those hands back up, coming back up to center, and then exhale, we're gonna roll those shoulders back. So this time we're gonna lift and open up through the chest. You're gonna take your hands behind you, and you're gonna press your chest up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky. Maybe you take your head back if you feel comfortable with that. But you're really squeezing your shoulder blades together. Your chest is lifting up towards the sky. This one might feel a little more uncomfortable if we are very tight in our chest and our shoulders. I want you to push your knees down and keep pressing your chest up. So there's gonna be a slight arch in your back. Take 1 more breath here. And then slowly tuck that chin in and then come back to the center. Okay, now we're gonna go into a seated cat-cow, which is similar to both of those stretches that we just did. So you're gonna start with those hands on your knees, whether you're cross-legged or resting on your shins. And on your inhale, you're gonna pull your hands to your hips and you're gonna push your chest towards the front. Pull your elbows back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and then exhale, you're gonna round the spine. So just like you would do cat-cow in your tabletop. Inhale and then exhale. This is all lower back here. Inhale, push your chest forward and then exhale. I'll show you from the side. It's kind of hard to see what I'm doing here in all black. So inhale, see how I push my chest forward and then exhale. Okay, so bigger movement than what some of you are doing. Make it even bigger. It's a cat-cow. Inhale, stretch forward. Pull your elbows back. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, maybe pushing your chest forward. Exhale, pull back, round the spine. 1 more time. Inhale, push your chest forward, and then exhale. Relax, perfect. Okay, let's come out of a seated position and do that again in a traditional cat-cow. So in a tabletop position. Make sure you have a mat or something with cushion for your knees here. Feel free to add a towel or an extra mat. So tabletop, so same exact thing, right? We drop our belly, we lift our chest and the tailbone, inhale, and then exhale around the spine. Same exact movement. Inhale. It's a great way to stretch that lower back. And exhale. A couple of times in your cat-cow. Nice and easy. Feel free to move your hips around a little bit if you're just starting to wake them up. Make this your own. We'll do 1 more cat-cow. Drop the belly to the mat, lift the chest, and then exhale, you round the spine. All right, knees nice and wide, feet come together. You sit back into those heels for a child's pose. As you walk your hands out and try to bring your chest to the floor, not just your forehead. So that way you get a full stretch in your back and your shoulders. So rather than a forward fold, try to flatten your back here. Bring that chest to the floor as close as you can. Let's get 2 more breaths. You can always hang out here in child's pose anytime during class when you would like a break. And then slowly, let's walk those hands back up. So now we're gonna get into downward facing dog. And we'll come to standing position after that and get the heat building in the body and start to get moving a little bit more. So downward facing dog first. You're gonna tuck those toes, lift those hips up towards the ceiling, and go ahead and pedal out your heels. Maybe the first one of your Friday morning. So take a few moments to breathe and get into this pose. Feel free to move your hips around, Maybe you go from up dog to down dog a couple times. Feel free to make it your own and stay there for a few more breaths, just sort of getting those kinks out. Just gonna come check in. You can always come to a child's pose instead of down dog too. Perfect. All right, so we got a couple more people that joined us. That's great. So down dog, I want you to relax your head completely here. You're gonna nod your head yes. Shake your head no. And really press your chest towards your thighs here. Lift those hips up a little bit higher. So hopefully this is starting to feel a little bit like work. That is the goal. Yoga is a lot about strength, not just flexibility, but also core and balance. So inhale, let's come forward to that plank where you stack your shoulders right on top of your wrists. Here's where the core part comes in. So once you stitch that rib cage together, tuck those hips under. I want you to straighten out your legs. Squeeze your glutes, lift those hips a tiny bit higher so we don't collapse in our plank. And then exhale, knees and chest lower. At the same time, you don't want your chest to go down before your hips, okay? Flatten your toes, inhale, lift up. Shoulders down, lift your chest, baby cobra. And then exhale, lower. Retuck the toes, inhale, exhale, come back up to down dog. Let's flow through that a few more times to build a little more heat. Inhale forward to your plank. Exhale, knees and chest. Keep your neck long here. Inhale, lift, baby cobra. Pull those elbows in towards your sides. Exhale, lower, retuck the toes, up and back. Perfect. 2 more times. Inhale forward, find that plank. Exhale, knees and chest. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Nice stretch here. And then exhale, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Hold that down dog right there. I'm just gonna watch you all go through this. You're gonna do it one more time through. It can be fast or slow, whatever you'd like. So go ahead and go through it one more time. People that have their videos on, just checking your form, making sure you all look good. Beautiful. When you are done, stay in your downward facing dog for 2 more breaths. Try to breathe in and out through your nose if you can, so we can build up strong lungs. Next breath, you're gonna bend your knees, and then you're gonna exhale, walk those feet towards the front of the mat, and come into a forward fold. Stay here 2 more breaths, totally relaxing your head. Imagine your head is heavy like a bowling ball, okay? I might move around and look up at you all, but I want you to keep your head totally relaxed. No tension in your neck here. Next, inhale takes us up to standing. So we reach those arms. We come all the way up to standing. You're gonna bring those palms together, lower them down to heart center, okay? So now we're gonna continue to build that heat and just go through a yoga flow. All right, we'll start slow, and if you're used to this, you can always pick up the pace and go a little bit faster. So inhale, take here, you're gonna go ahead, squeeze your left Sorry, everyone, I'm back. I guess I got kicked off. That never happens. I'm so sorry. Let's continue where we were at. Okay, let's come back up. Oh no, we were down. We were about to do a lunge, okay? So you did your left leg up, inhale, and then exhale. You place that foot in between your hands. You're gonna drop that back knee. I want you to flatten that back foot. So untuck. You're gonna lift the chest. You're just gonna come into a low lunge. So inhale, reach those arms up, and then exhale, hold, low lunge. Now, if you're having sensitive shoulders today, you can bring this back down to cactus. I want you to hold this here for a couple of breaths. I'm just gonna grab my blocks so I have them handy. So sorry, if the internet goes out again, I'll pop back on like I did last time. Just keep moving. All right, one more breath here. Okay, next inhale, you're gonna take those arms down in front of you. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of rotation and stretch through our hip flexors. So our right leg is behind us. We're gonna take this right arm, inhale, and exhale, take it back. You imagine you're sort of drawing a rainbow with your arms. So we're gonna come forward, inhale, and exhale. So forward and back just a couple of times here. Take it up and back. Let's do it one more time. Keep your core nice and strong. Last time, we're just gonna hold it right here, okay? So maybe you're reaching for that calf or for your heel, and if you want a little bit extra, you can take that front arm, reach it up and over. So if you're doing peaceful warrior, look up at that hand. Definitely harder. Keep that core nice and strong. We're here for 2 more breaths, wherever you're at. 1 more breath, and then slowly bring both arms back to the front. We're gonna take them down to the floor. You're gonna retuck that back toe. Lift your knee off the floor for a nice low lunge, keeping those hips low, and then you're gonna step right back. Downward facing dog. So we're gonna go through this flow. Inhale, come forward to your plank. We'll go through this each time. Exhale, lower the knees and the chest. And you can choose to go through this slow, fast, maybe just take it out all together and find a child's pose. Inhale, lift, baby cobra. Exhale, down dog, hold that right there. 2 breaths, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. 1 more breath. Next inhale, you're gonna bend those knees. Exhale, you're gonna walk, hop, or jump to the front of your mat. You're gonna come back to that forward fold. Inhale takes us to standing. All the way up, we're gonna bring those palms together, and exhale, lower down. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Hopefully you're starting to feel those hips open up and feeling the heat throughout the body. Take those arms up, inhale, exhale, float it down, let it go. Inhale, lift, halfway. Nice flat back here. So pull your shoulder blades together. Take 1 more breath. Feel that stretch right behind the legs. Exhale, take those hands down. Step it back, downward facing dog. This time, our right leg lifts up. 3-legged dog. You're gonna lift it up as high as you can. Squeeze and lift, inhale. Exhale, bend that knee and place it in between your hands. And feel free to use assistance. You can use your hands to bring a little bit closer. Drop your back knee and flatten that back foot. Okay, use your blocks or your pillows if you have those with you. And then come into this low lunge. Inhale, arms come up, and then exhale, hold. Perfect. So working from the ground up, so we keep those hips nice and low and opening up those hip flexors. Hold this for a few breaths. You can also find that cactus pose with the arms that feels better on your shoulders. 1 more breath, tuck those hips under just a tiny bit. Keep the core engaged, and then inhale, those arms come down in front of us, and we're just gonna open up through the side body. Now with that left arm. So inhale, open, you're reaching for that back leg, and then come back around. So we do this just a couple of times, challenging your balance here just a little bit, but also our core. Inhale, reach, and exhale. We're gonna do it just one more time. We're gonna hang out here for a couple of breaths. So you're reaching for that heel, that calf. Hold it here if you want a little extra. Reach that front arm up. Imagine you're doing Peaceful Warrior, right? Maybe take your gaze up at that hand. Ooh, that's a lot harder for balance and for your core. Hold this wherever you're at for one more breath. And then slowly inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, allow your chest to fall forward just slightly. We're gonna retuck that back toe. Lift our knee off the floor, but still keep our hips nice and low here. And then go ahead and step back to downward facing dog. Perfect. Inhale forward to your plank. Exhale, lower. Chaturanga. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down dog. Hold on for 2 breaths. So I move through that last flow a little bit faster. Again, you can add an extra push-up, remove it all together. This is your workout, so however you want to do it. So one more breath in your down dog. Next inhale, you're gonna bend those knees. Exhale, you're gonna walk, hop, or jump to the front for your forward fold. Inhale takes us up to standing. Palms come together, and exhale. Okay, so now that we've opened up our hips, we're gonna do some standing poses and then get to some balance. So inhale, reach those arms up, big deep breath. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, nice halfway, flat back, feel that nice stretch behind the legs. And then exhale, lower. Let's sit back with our right foot, about medium step, press your heel into the floor. We're gonna find warrior 1. Lift the chest, arms come up here, inhale, and exhale. You can keep them fully extended by your ears or find your cactus. So warrior 1, you should feel a big stretch behind that leg. Front knee is slightly bent. I'm gonna do cactus here. We wanna tuck those hips under, keep our core engaged. Hold this here. One more breath, and then we're gonna come to a triangle pose. Inhale, you're gonna straighten that front leg. Arms come up, and then exhale, lower those arms. So just like we did in the beginning of class, right? We did that seated rotation. Inhale, I want you to reach towards your front foot. As you exhale, first place your front hand on your knee, and then I want you to bend your back elbow and just place your hand on your hip. Okay, you'll see where we're going with this. So inhale, I want you to bring that shoulder down to face the floor. Exhale, now I want you to open up and rotate. And this is how you get into that triangle pose. Then you can slowly start to get deeper into it. Maybe slide that hand closer to your ankle. And then once you are ready for that full extension, go ahead and extend that arm all the way up, but you want it right here. You want that wrist right on top of your shoulder. So we don't want it down here. We don't want to be straining to lift it up. So if you're feeling any tightness in your shoulders, stay right here with me. So I want you to just focus on opening up through the shoulder first. Don't worry about extending that arm. Hold up there for a few more breaths. Also mentioned in class before, you can find a spot against the wall. And then you'll see, ooh, how much you really should be opening, right? One more breath, a lot of balance here. Inhale, slowly pull yourself back up. And then exhale, let's cartwheel the hands down. And let's step back, down dog. Inhale forward to your plank. So we'll go through this flow again. Exhale, knees and chest, chaturanga, or you can just find a nice easy child's pose, right? Inhale, lift, exhale, tuck the toes. Hold that right there. 2 breaths, same thing on the other side. And we'll be nice and warm to start adding some more challenging balance elements. Next, inhale, you're gonna bend your knees. Exhale, you're gonna walk, hop, or jump. Forward fold. And hopefully you're feeling a little bit looser, right, as we go along. Inhale, reach those arms up. Take your gaze up, maybe a mini back bend there. Feels good for you this morning. Exhale, lower. Okay, same thing on the other side. Take it up and exhale. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. And then exhale, lower. Left foot steps back, medium step back, glue your heel into the floor, lift up and reach those arms up for warrior one. Hold this right here. Maybe cactus pose, you choose. So remember your back leg is straight, front knee is slightly bent, hips are facing forward. Hold this for a few more breaths. You want to tuck those hips under. Imagine you're stitching that rib cage together so you don't feel all that pressure in your low back. Inhale, straighten the front leg, arms come up, and then exhale, lower those arms down. So we're making a triangle with our legs. Keep them pretty straight here. Reach forward, inhale. Exhale, place your hand on your knee and bend your back elbow first. Inhale, rotate down, and now exhale, twist and open up. And this is how you get into that triangle pose. So we're twisting from the torso. And I'll give you a couple of breaths here to get into that pose. So on this side, I can easily extend my arm a little bit looser, not as tight on this side. So if your arm is extended, again, make sure that wrist is right on top of your shoulder. Okay, imagine you are falling back into a wall, or imagine you're squished between two walls. Hold this for a few more. Let me check it out. Lifting up and away with that triangle pose. Perfect. Good. Make sure you're keeping your chest lifted and not falling forward. Again, any shoulder issues, just keep your hand right here at your hip. So I want you to really open up through that chest. Don't worry about extending that arm. One more breath. You're looking up towards the sky. Inhale, push into that back leg, nice and slow. Use your core to pull yourself up. And then exhale, cartwheel those hands down. Good job. Let's go through this again, and we're gonna add on some more challenging poses. So you can stay in down dog or go through your flow, whatever you would like. Take your time. Maybe add an extra chaturanga. If you want to do a little extra upper body. And once you are done with that, hold your down dog or child's pose, 2 breaths. Next one, inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump. Come into that forward fold. Inhale takes us up to standing. Palms come together, and exhale, lower. Okay, so now we're gonna add on warrior 2. Then we're gonna add on crescent lunge and balance into a warrior 3. And that's really just balancing on one leg, okay? So if you have a wall nearby, that's definitely a really good prop, or maybe even a bench. But I don't want you to reach for something on the floor. I don't want you to go do this, right? So these poses are all about lifting up in the pose, right? Lifting up. We don't want to be falling forward into it, okay? So let's go ahead and start right here. Top of our mat. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, float it down. Chest is always lifted. Inhale, lift halfway. Unless we're in a forward fold. And then exhale down. Okay, so right leg, warrior 1, step back, same thing. We'll just move through a little faster. Arms up and hold. 2 more breaths and we'll get right into triangle. Core is nice and strong. Inhale, straighten that leg. Exhale, arms come down. This time we flow right into triangle. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, flow right into that. If you don't have the arm placement yet, remember that hand stays at your hip. Hold it right there. Couple of breaths. Or if you have the wall, that's going to give you an idea how much you should be open. I see some of you folding forward a little bit. So remember, your chest stays up and your shoulder should be stacked right on top of that hip. 1 more breath. Imagine you're falling back. Inhale, push into that back leg. And then exhale, release. Inhale, we're gonna lift our back heel off the floor, reach our arms up, open that hip, and then find warrior two that way. So a little bit wider stance. Inhale, straighten that leg, arms come up, and then exhale, lower. 2 more times. Inhale, arms up, exhale, last time, little movement in this warrior two, and then hold it right here. Shoulders are down and out of your ears. You're looking over that front arm, that middle finger, keep your core nice and strong. Inhale, reach forward, flip that palm, exhale, take it back. So similar to what we did in the beginning of class, right? We did this kneeling. Wrap that back hand around, reach for your opposite hip, take your gaze up at your hand, peaceful warrior, 2 more breaths. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, take that back heel off the floor and reach that back arm to the front. Just wrap it around. So now we're in that high crescent lunge. Inhale, reach. Exhale, palms come together. Bring them to heart center and get nice and low in this lunge. So before we did this lunge on the floor, now we're taking it up a notch. Back leg is straight, front knee is bent. All right, so you all can take a breather here. I want you to watch my screen. Inhale, I'm gonna push forward or lean forward. I'm gonna push off my back foot, and then I'm gonna lift up into my balance. Okay, so notice how I did not do this. We're not leaning forward, we're lifting up. And even if your leg is only here, I'd rather have that and nice and straight, okay? So we push off and we lift up into our balance. Let's try it together. And your hands stay here because I want you to keep your back flat. Lean forward slightly, push off your back foot, and lift up. And we'll be here for a couple of breaths. I want you to imagine that you're pushing your back foot against a wall, so you're gonna flex that foot. You drive your heel up towards the ceiling. That standing leg is slightly bent. You're gonna feel those glutes, right? And it's okay to come in and out of this, right? If you fall out, just come right back into it. Keep breathing. Think of zipping up a tight pair of pants to re-engage that core, right? Maybe you lift it a little bit higher. So let's try 2 more breaths. I just wanna see it. 1 more breath. Keep those hip bones towards the floor. Beautiful. Okay, biggest challenge. We're gonna step right back to that high lunge. Woo, inhale and exhale, take those hands down. Perfect. So you can stay standing if you'd like, or go through this flow with me again. Your choice. Go at your own pace, your own speed. And if you chose to do that flow, stay in your down dog when you're finished for 2 breaths. If you stay standing, you can hold a chair pose, or just wait until we're ready to come back up. So everyone, next breath, you're gonna bend those knees. Inhale, exhale, walk up or jump. Everyone comes to a forward fold. This is the only time your chest is facing down in any kind of standing pose. And then inhale, reach those arms up. Bring your palms together and exhale. Same thing on the other side. Here we go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, halfway lift. This part's really important. This is how you should be looking for that balance pose, right? See that? Nice flat back, okay? Pull those shoulder blades together. And then exhale, lower. Step back, left foot, warrior one. Arms reach up. Hold it right here, warrior one. Back leg, nice and straight. Front knee slightly bent. Just a few breaths. Triangle pose will be next. Inhale, straighten those arms, straighten your leg, and then exhale, lower. We're gonna flow right into that triangle. Inhale, reach towards that front foot, and then exhale, flow right into it. Imagine you are falling back into a wall, not falling forward. Hold that there. Imagine I'm pulling your wrist back, right, or your elbow. Perfect. 2 more breaths. You can bend that front knee just a little bit, right? Small micro bend. Inhale, push into your back foot. Nice and slow, pull yourself up. Use those core muscles, okay? Inhale, we're gonna come into warrior 2. Lift our arms, lift your back heel off the floor, open up that hip. Place your heel down and let those arms lower, okay? Inhale, arms up, straighten that front leg, exhale down. Just getting a little bit deeper into that warrior 2. Inhale and exhale one more time, then we stay put. Inhale and then exhale. Hold this right here, it's warrior 2. Your feet should be perpendicular. So that's why we opened up that hip. Shoulders down and away from your ears, right? Keep that back leg nice and straight. One more breath here, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable, we're building that strength. Inhale, you're gonna flip that palm, and then exhale, you're gonna take it back for that peaceful warrior. Take your gaze up, challenge your balance here. Backhand, you're gonna bend that elbow, reach it around for the opposite hip, just to encourage that shoulder to open a little bit more. One more breath. Inhale, come back to that warrior 2, and exhale. We're gonna lift that back heel off the floor, rotate our hips back to the front. Back arm just sort of swoops down. We come up for that high crescent lunge. Inhale, arms up, palms come together as we exhale. We wanna get nice and low in this lunge. Back leg is straight. So here comes our balance, now on our right leg. Keep your palms together at your chest, back is flat. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, push off that back foot and lift up. Try to keep that back leg nice and straight. Hold that there. Now, if you want a little bit more, you can always try to open up to a half moon. We'll go through this one more time on each side, but that is stacking those hips and extending that top arm and bottom arm. So wherever you're at, we're just practicing it for a couple more breaths. Zip up that tight pair of pants, right? Sort of reconnect to that core. One more breath. Keep that back leg nice and straight. You all look beautiful. Okay, biggest challenge, you step right back to that lunge. I know that's hard. Right back, inhale, exhale down, perfect. So you can stay standing or go through this again. Your flow. We'll practice that balance one more time, okay? You've got one more opportunity to practice it. So stay in your standing pose, your child's pose, or your down dog. 2 more breaths. The up and down is definitely what gets the heart rate up. So again, you choose what works for you this morning. Next breath, we're all gonna come to a forward fold. So as you exhale, make your way down, forward fold, relax the head, and then inhale, we slowly come back up to standing. Palms come together, and we exhale, lower. Is everyone doing okay so far? Very good. We're gonna practice that one more time, all right? And if you want a little more, you can practice opening up to half moon. And that's sort of like a side plank motion, right? This is essentially what you're doing in your half moon, okay? But balancing on your foot. So rather than your hips facing the floor, you open them up and stack and extend, all right? Here we go. So it's just an option. You don't have to do it. Let's reach up. We're almost done. Inhale. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, lift halfway. Big deep breath. And exhale. So we're going to take out some of these movements. We're going to go right into warrior 2. Big step back. Right foot. Warrior 2. I want you to find your lowest point in this warrior 2. Arms nice and strong. One more breath here. Flip the hand, inhale, exhale, peaceful warrior. Reach behind for that opposite hip. Take your gaze up at your hand. One more breath, you got this. Inhale, come back. And exhale. Take that back heel off the floor, rotate everything towards the front. Reach up, inhale, palms come together. Exhale to heart center. We're in our nice high crescent lunge. We're gonna get ready to push off and practice that warrior three. So inhale forward, exhale, push off your back foot and lift up for your balance. Hold that right there. You can use your walls, right? Maybe use your bench. As long as you're not folding forward, I'm okay with that. Squeeze your glutes and lift. Hold that right there. Continue to practice. Half moon, you could try that. Open up your hips. I always point my toe here. I feel it just helps me get into that pose and makes my leg a little bit straighter. But you stack those hips, one hand down, one arm up, and that's your standing half moon. So a few more breaths. Keep your core nice and strong wherever you are at. Beautiful. Let's do it for one more breath. Keep that core nice and strong. You got this. All right. And then next breath, we're going to take that foot to meet our other foot instead of going back into our lunge, okay? You're just going to go ahead and shake it out. Get a little stretch here. And we're gonna go right into that other side. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway lift, core nice and strong. Press your heels into the floor, and then exhale, lower. This time, left foot steps back. Warrior two, open right up to it. Left foot. Get as low as you can in this warrior two. And imagine someone is pulling you in both directions here. Okay, so we're not too far forward or too far back. Pulling you in both directions at the same time. Inhale, flip that palm. Exhale, take it back. Peaceful warrior. Reach behind for that hip. Take your gaze up, challenge your balance here. Inhale, come back, and exhale. Take that back heel off the floor, slowly rotate those hips towards the front. Bring that back arm to meet the front. Reach up, inhale, and exhale. Run slow lunge, hands in prayer at your chest. Lean forward, drive through your back foot, but also your front leg, and lift up for that balance. And go ahead and practice here. Hold that there. And if you can see yourself in the video, you can see if your leg is straight or not, depending on how you're facing. So you can use that as well. Try to straighten that back leg, right? Like you're pressing it up against a wall. You want to try a half moon? Go ahead and lift those hips, stack them as if you're in side plank position. Extend those arms. Always keep a slight bend in that front knee. There we go, for balance. Feel free to use your wall here. So hold it for a few more breaths, wherever you're at. It's your last chance to practice this. Perfect. One more breath, wherever you're at, and then inhale, just bring that foot down to meet your other foot. Bend the knees here and just shake it out. Great job, everybody. Woo. Inhale, reach those arms up, and then exhale, float it down. Let's go ahead and step it back, downward facing dog. So you can go through your flow one more time, or you can just find a nice, gentle child's pose, your choice. I'm gonna find a nice, gentle child's pose here. So just take a few moments, one final flow. We have about 5 minutes left. We're just going to stretch it out. If you are in your child's pose, on your next breath, I want you to walk those hands over to the right diagonal. Go as far as you can until you feel that stretch in your left side body. Hold it there for a breath. And then inhale, come back to the center. And then exhale, reach over to the other side as far as you can go. Hold it there. And then slowly back to the center. So walk those hands back up. We're gonna come swing our legs around and bring them in front of us so that we can gently lower down onto our back. So nice and easy here. Lower down. Once we're here, you're gonna hug those knees, bring them into your chest. I'm just gonna allow our back to flatten. I want you to circle your ankles and wiggle your toes. And gently rock side to side here. Sort of massaging your back. Create circles here in one direction. And then we're going to reverse those circles. All right, we're gonna lower those feet onto the floor. We're just gonna come up to a couple of bridges. So we do one inversion here. Let's just place those feet right underneath your knees. Arms are down by your side. You're gonna take an inhale. And on your exhale, just gently lift those hips off the floor. Nice and slow, like you're peeling your spine off the mat. And then inhale, we gently lower back down. So just 2 more times. We'll hold on to that last one. Lift up. Inhale, lower. Last one. Then we're gonna hold that last one. So make sure you're not lifting too high so that you have all your weight on your neck or your shoulders. You don't want to lift too high. All the weight should be on the back part of your shoulders and not your neck. If you'd like a little more, you can interlace those fingers underneath your hips and bring those palms together. You'll feel that stretch across the chest. One more breath. And then very slowly lower back down. Feel free to windshield wiper those legs, dropping the knees from side to side. And we're going to extend our legs straight. You're going to hug that right knee into your chest. We're going to open it out to the side, external rotation, keeping your hips on the floor. I use my other hand to sort of pull that opposite hip down. And now you're going to take it across the body for a spinal twist. Bring it across, look over that opposite arm, extend that right arm out, and look over for a twist. And then slowly come back to the center. Same thing on the other side. Legs straight out. You're gonna hug that left knee down to your chest, or the other side, whatever that is for you. External rotation, so open that out, keeping your hips on the floor. Inner thigh stretch here, and then take it across the body. Here's where we roll over, extend that opposite arm, so your left arm, look over that shoulder. Be mindful here too, if this doesn't feel good on your back. Might feel better if you bend both knees. That will give your back a little extra support. And then slowly back to the center. And then you can do one last stretch, your favorite stretch, whatever that is that maybe we didn't get to today. So choose one more stretch, and then I want you to end in any relaxing pose. So that can be in a traditional corpse pose or shavasana pose, or maybe having your knees bent feels a little better. Maybe reach those arms overhead. But once you're there, just closing your eyes for just a couple moments as we end class today. Whatever is comfortable and relaxing for you. And gently start to move your head from side to side. Start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Gently pull your knees into your chest for one last hug, one last stretch. And then very gently rolling over to one side. Press yourself up and find any comfortable seated position. And once we're here, we will reach our arms up. Take a nice deep breath together. Inhale, palms come together as we exhale, lower down to heart center. Close your eyes for just a moment. And as always, thank yourself for making the time for you this morning, for your body, and hopefully also your mind and your spirit. And with that, we will say namaste to one another. And happy National Yoga Month. September is all about yoga. So as I mentioned at the beginning of class, make sure to check out our extra specialty classes that we have throughout the week. We have a Monday, 10 a.m. We have a Wednesday morning at 7:15. We have a Thursday afternoon at 1:15. So a lot of different things going on. I hope to see some of you all there, and I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday. And a happy weekend. Thanks for coming. And sorry about the internet going, that rarely happens for me.